Sure. I'll just read the email that I did send to each school board member today. I just wrote, I'm requesting that you take into consideration the fine job that Jedd has done for our school in terms of improving reading scores, ITED data, and teacher-student morale. I believe him to be one of the most respectable, honest, and hardworking principals that I've had in my 11 years of teaching. I'm distraught over the turmoil that Jedd's resignation has caused for the community and school district, as it is not his intention to leave the district. In the last 2 years, our special ed program has become more unified under the direct management of Jedd. Please do know that I faithfully devote my utmost respect and dedication to this fine administrator and educator.
Thank you, board members. I just first want to say that I sat in a basketball game last night and listened to a former teacher explain to me really what's at play here. Is that Superintendent prior asked this gentleman to leave, and now a superintendent current has done the same thing. So it must speak to this individual's character. My concern is to me it doesn't. In the 5.5 years that we've been members of this community, I have 4 children in 3 buildings. If this gentleman leaves, it will be the 7th principal gone in 5 years. The 7th. That speaks to you, not to him. And that's my concern. That this issue is much broader than Jedd. It's unfortunate that he's in the middle of this, but this issue is actually your issue, not his issue. So my concern is that before you accept this resignation, that you seriously consider the consequences of your decision. And I hope that counsel that is sitting next to you is advising you of that before you make that decision. Thank you.
In the short time that Mr. Sherman has been here, he has made it abundantly clear that the students are his priority. He works well with them, and he is an advocate for them. What offense has he committed that warrants such swift, harsh, and seemingly irrational action? He was sent an email at 6:40 p.m. on Wednesday evening requiring him to be at a 9 a.m. meeting the next morning. And then he understood it to be a routine administration meeting. However, he was given an evaluation which was both contradictory and trivial in parts, and then told that he had 6 hours to resign or would never work in the Iowa educational system again. His primary concern was the emotional and educational well-being of the students. He is not always politically correct and may sometimes offend, but I find that he is always willing to speak the truth. Or was it because he dared to suggest that the budget cuts come from the administration and save the teachers for the students? Nobody likes someone who tells the truth if it infringes on their own comfort zone. But again, my question is, what has he done that has resulted in such swift and harsh retribution? If there is truly a grievous offense, I will not defend him. However, I have not found any evidence to support such action, and I hope that you will be willing to look at the facts and reject the forced resignation which was signed under duress and questionable circumstances.
Time.
As a parent, taxpayer, I am just appalled at the situation that is going on with the school district. Jedd, I do not know all the facts here, but I do know what this reflection is doing to this school system. I do not think we are looking at the best interests of our kids. We've had how many principals in just a few number of years? Consistency is what I know is best for the kids. And unless justification would be shown to get rid of this man, I think we leave him in place.
My name is Nicole Wise, and I'm new to the community. And I say that because I think you need to know that one of my first tasks in coming to a community is to assess the community. Look at the strengths. Look at the character of people that are in leadership positions in the community. And then figure out how we as a church can also interface with that to help make this a better place to live for all of the folks. I have found Mr. Sherman to be a person of strong character both in and out of the school. I am so impressed with the values that he exhibits, not just for the care of the children and the education, but also he role models wonderful parenting skills. I mean, have you seen him at games and at other events with his children? And you know what I think is so amazing, and something that we oftentimes forget, is how important we need to be able to integrate our work life with our personal life. He cares deeply for all of you. I wish you could see the 200 people youth and adults standing out there. Can we hear you a second? And really quickly, okay, I'm still with it. My daughter has benefited tremendously from that 9th block. She tests well, but Mr. Prophet knows that she doesn't get that homework done. And she has been just such a student that has really needed that 9th block. It has really improved her taking responsibility for her actions, and he is teaching her life lessons on how to be a good citizen so that she can be part of this community as an adult and be someone that this community can be proud of in the end. And isn't that what we're all about in education as well as in the church and as well in our everyday life? So thank you all for giving me a moment to speak. Thank you all, everyone out there. God bless.
Jim Lathrop with Abby Graben.
Hello, I'm Jim Lathrop, and before I start my prepared statements, I'd like to say that I'm glad the elephant in the room has been addressed. This is not a resignation, this is a constructive discharge. I am currently employed as Director of Human Resources at Pure Fishing. I've been in the human resources profession for 20 years. During that time, the majority of my experience has been with labor and employee relations, and I have served as chair of the National Employee and Labor Relations Committee of the Society of Human Resources, consisting of 250,000 human resource professionals. During my career, I've been involved in the termination of coworkers at all levels of organizations and have successfully defended terminations in the face of hearings, employment, administrative law judges, and the legal system. As a certified senior professional of human resources with specific expertise in the area of performance management, I'm highly disappointed at the lack of professionalism, attention to detail, and appropriate process the board has exhibited relative to the performance of a principal within Spirit Lake Schools. I have reviewed the performance review provided to Mr. Sherman by the interim superintendent. To be direct, it is vague, opinionated, and lacks specific data and behavioral specifics that are required of a well-crafted performance review. If a manager I supported presented this review to me with the intention of terminating the employment of a coworker, I would not only reject the proposition, but I would refuse to put the review in the coworker's personnel file for future reference. Legitimate, well-crafted performance management documents gather relevant and detailed data, evidence, and behavioral examples to support conclusions. This evaluation is at best vague and in many places contradictory. In my experience, this quality of performance documentation is an indication that the person crafting the review is unaware of the specific behaviors and performance of the individual.
Time.
May I have permission to finish? Very short.
Abby Graben with Maxine Butler next.
Excuse me, this document says we have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Or the board can extend it. It doesn't say anything about lowering.
Because of the number of individuals that wish to speak to the...
We're here for that. That's all. I think you should have an opportunity to speak.
Furthermore, I understand there is documented proof and independent support contrary to the items outlined as non-conformance within the evaluation. In short, the quality of this evaluation would not be acceptable within an organization that is concerned with making accurate decisions and based on fact. Beyond my human resources experience, I am also a parent of a Spirit Lake High School junior. As a parent, I fully support Mr. Sherman and the progress he has made with Spirit Lake High School. Further, due to the board's continued mismanagement of this situation and the finances of this district, I fully support and recommend to other concerned individuals a petition for election to recall the appropriate board members of Spirit Lake School Board.
Different school that we've seen gone through, and I can't recall any principal throughout my whole 10 years of elementary, middle school, and high school that has been a better principal. He takes the time of the day to stop and talk to every single one of the students in the high school. I find it amazing that he takes the time of the day to talk with politics about us. He doesn't look down, he judges fairly, not to mention the amazing and awesome things he's done for our school, from little things such as rallying together, pep rallies almost every Friday of the football season to get spirits going for kids, to pep rallies during ACTs, to pep rallies during ITES. Everything he just tries to make better, and he has done a great job and a tremendous stride in the numbers.